Hello everyone, so this is my favourite first watches of May and June 2025. So I'm hoping to do this at the end of every month, hopefully. Just sort of a smaller video at the end of each month while I sort of, plan out and edit some of the harder to make videos. So yeah, there's no order to this, it's just kind of random. It's not like worst to best or, it's not like a ranking in any way. It's just some of my favourite first watches from the past 2 months. So the first ones I want to mention is a couple of Charlie Chaplin shorts. Both from 1916, and that's The Rink and Behind the Screen. So The Rink follows Chaplin as a waiter, and sort of in the later parts of the film he goes to a skating rink and classic slapstick stuff basically going on. And Behind the Screen he plays an assistant in a movie studio, and again just simple, classic, charming slapstick comedy. It's amazing with these two shorts, or just with loads of different films from back then, just how well they're preserved. They look absolutely incredible. Amazing sort of re-recorded music in a lot of these Chaplin films by Carl Davis, who I just learned, I think, a couple of years ago, passed away. So rest in peace to him. Obviously, he was an incredible composer. But two classic Chaplin shorts, and then a couple of Laurel and Hardy short films. So there was Perfect Day, Blotto, and Be Big. Perfect Day is sort of their struggle to get the car started on a way to a picnic with their wives. Blotto is sort of them going to a club to get drunk behind their wives' back during Prohibition, I think, and it's sort of famous for the sort of 3-minute long laughing scene, just basically them laughing hysterically. Be Big, that's them they're trying to go to a surprise party in their name, but Hardy struggles to get the wrong-sized boot off. And another one I forgot to mention as well, Double Whoopee, that's 1929. I think it was one of the last silent short films. And yeah, that's them basically getting new positions as doorman at a hotel, and they're not very good, basically. All just, of course, classic, hilarious stuff. With me and my brother have seen so many Laurel and Hardys, but we're sort of slowly trying to go through all the ones we haven't seen as well. So those are my favourite first watches of the Laurel and Hardys that I watched over the past couple of months. Next up is Heretic, quite a recent film with Hugh Grant. Started off very strong, I will say. All the performances throughout were great. Obviously the two women were really great, and Hugh Grant, of course, it was amazing in the film. And it started off pretty scary and creepy and tense, and had some really interesting elements, and the way religion was delved into a bit, and the back and forth there on that kind of stuff. But the second half went in a direction that I was a bit underwhelmed by, and a lot of the ideas that were opened up in the first half never really had a great arc by the end. They weren't capitalised on fully. Also, it didn't really need to be as long as it was as well, but it was a good film. Hugh Grant was great. The two women performances were great, from Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East. So yeah, so a flawed film, but a good one, and definitely that first half was really strong. And again, great performances, and I was invested from start to finish. It's just that the second half didn't go in the best direction for me. But yeah, solid film, I'd definitely recommend it. Next up is Cool Runnings. This was a really, really good film, really feel-good film. It's basically about a group of people from Jamaica who want to compete in the Winter Olympics, so they take up bobsleighing and try and convince John Candy's character to coach them. It's just a really, really nice film to watch from start to finish, really inspiring. And yeah, if I had to pick one film from this month that was my absolute favourite, in terms of the first watches, it would probably be Cool Runnings, but highly recommend it. Next up, a couple of films from Mike Leigh. This is a director that I'll hopefully be ranking pretty much all of his work in hopefully the next couple of months. Yes, I watched all of his feature films a couple of years ago, and now I'm sort of rewatching a lot of those, and also watching a lot of the TV stuff and TV films that I haven't seen, and his most recent film, which is included in this entry, actually his latest film. So the entry is Home Sweet Home and Hard Truths. Hard Truths, of course, being his latest film. But yeah, Home Sweet Home was a TV film that he'd done, basically, or a TV play in, I believe, 1980, and so it was really, really investing. There was a lot of sort of morally questionable characters in the way they act and treat people and stuff, which often, of course, makes for a really interesting viewing. And yeah, it was a really unique one for Mike Leigh, one of his most interesting films. And Hard Truths, his latest feature film, came out in cinemas in the UK, I think, early this year. And yeah, it was a really powerful film. It was about a woman called Pansy who is basically just angry at everyone and everything. She's just constantly just angry and frustrated at everything. And yeah, so it sort of follows her and her family, the people that are affected by her and stuff like that. And yeah, so it was a really powerful film. An unbelievable performance from Marion Jean-Baptiste, who was amazing as well, and one of Lee's best films, Secrets and Lies. But here, this was just an unreal performance. I had issues with it, but it's not one of Mike Leigh's absolute best films, but it was a really, really powerful film, and a very sad film, one of Mike Leigh's saddest films. And yeah, just it, it left an impact on me. I was thinking about it for quite a bit afterwards, and an amazing score as well. I'll talk about this a lot more, in when I rank his films. But yeah, so that's Home Sweet Home and Hard Truths. Next up is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This was a really fun film. Definitely the best of the trilogy for me. Jim Carrey was great as always, and Shadow, played by Keanu Reeves, was great. And there's a much more of a focus on the heroes. The sort of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and stuff like that, and Shadow, rather than the humans. Although I do like James Marsden and his wife Tika Sumpter, I believe you pronounce her name, in these films. But I do prefer when it's a lot more focused on the characters that you come to these films for. I will say I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I wasn't huge on the ending of this film. I think that could have wrapped up a bit better. But yeah, it was just an enjoyable film. Definitely the best of the trilogy for me, and great visuals as well. Really stunning visuals, especially on a 4K Blu-ray. But yeah. Next up is F9. Me and my brother have been going through the Fast and Furious franchise for the first time, and yeah, F9 was definitely my favourite that I watched over the past couple of months. I did watch Fast X as well, but this was, for me overall, the more enjoyable of the two. Definitely not a perfect film, but I thought the action was great. I love these characters as usual. That you sort of come to know and love. There wasn't really a great villain in the film, and the flashbacks weren't that great. John Cena was a little bit underutilized in this one, compared to Fast X, which again I recently saw, but overall, F9 was the more enjoyable film of the two. But yeah, no, it was a good film, and it had great locations, great action, really, really insanely over the top, obviously, in this one, which for some people it might be a bit too over the top, but I think it worked for me. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, just a fun blockbuster film. Next up is a comedy film from 2018, I think, called Blockers. This was a really funny film, a lot of laugh out loud scenes. So you got John Cena, Leslie Mann, and Ike Barinholtz. I do not know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but they're all really funny, and they're basically the parents of these high schoolers, and they all catch wind on the fact that they're all basically planning to lose their virginity at a high school prom, and they try to stop them, basically. Yeah, really hilarious film. Some cringy moments, I'll say. I definitely did prefer the scenes with the parents as opposed to the high schoolers, but like I said, it's a really funny film. A lot of moments where I was just laughing hysterically, and it has some really good messages as well. Yeah, I'd recommend it. It was not one I expected to enjoy as much as I did, but yeah, it was a really fun film. Definitely recommend it. So yeah, this was my favourite first watches of May and June 2025, and like I said, I'm going to hope to get one of these up every month alongside the sort of bigger videos like rankings and lists and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching.